Alrighty, welcome to day 12. Okay, so today was good day. Oh yeah, I had a pretty breakthrough dream this morning. A dream analysis is something I haven't really done too much of myself. Maybe it's out of the frustration of how fleeting the dreams are. It's like, why am I going to try to write this down? It seems like a lost cause in a sense. Every second that goes by once you wake up, it's like another piece of information from that dream disappears. But this was very interesting on many levels. One of them was I happened to wake up immediately from it when there was this weird moment. Social anxiety is one thing that I struggle with, which I'm going to hit on with the main topic I want to talk about today. It relates to childhood trauma, which I won't go into details, but one of the theories behind childhood trauma, when you experience that, you tend to get locked, or sometimes people get locked into that stage of development, or just emotionally or in some way trapped in that developmental stage of childhood when you experience that trauma. What I've been trying to do, kind of one of my many approaches to fix my issues, so to speak, is to grow up in a sense. There's a lot of things that I want to highlight that I'm trying to work on and improve on as a modern human social animal in this society, is to grow up and get past these things that trouble me. It was an interesting dream because at the end, right before I woke up, I was surrounded by a kind of surprise party. I started seeing in the last maybe 15 seconds different people, and the funny thing is they weren't even at the age that they would be now. Like one of my friends, Sean, which I hope I can tell him about this one day, he was as rail thin as he was in high school because we swam together. And I was like, Sean looks weird. What's going on with Sean? And why is he here? And then my buddy Tim, and then all these people just started coming. And then it got a little bit culty and strange because they started like surround me in this circle, and they were saying like, I can't remember how it went, but it was a happy birthday. It's funny because I try not to put too much emphasis on birthdays. I'm weird like that. How I interpreted it was because it was a birthday event, and something that someone had said to me in that dream just before was kind of proving that I was wrong about the way that people see me in some light. After that, everyone came around me and was like, happy birthday. So it was almost like a growing up or a progressing in stage, which I was talking to a couple of my friends and mom about this today. It seems like that is probably progress and a sign of progress, which gave me energy to start the day. And I've been trying to get back on the early morning gym routine, which I'll go into detail another time about why that had not been happening, because it's more than just lack of motivation. It has to do with the body more than anything else. My body felt great. I hit the first morning workout in a while, which was amazing. But what I wanted to talk about today was just a little thing that I realized. I went for my 45-minute outdoor walk. Instead of taking the typical path, which is basically avoiding the neighborhoods in a sense, but it's really, I've always looked at it not as avoiding neighborhoods, but more of a way to get closer to nature, which I appreciate that perspective more. But then I realized, you know what? When I think of walking in front of houses, there's a bit of anxiety of what are people going to think of me. I mentioned this the other day. Who cares? But still, it's something that I have to work through, and I think exposure therapy is a thing for a reason. It's almost like an exposure therapy approach. I took a different path. Instead of turning right to go on this path that goes closer to the mountain, I went straight through the neighborhood and walked past my buddy's house, and then I went through these other neighborhoods and ended up going down a street that apparently was a private street for some school for troubled kids, and two people stopped and asked me what the heck I was doing there. They were very polite about it, but it was an opportunity for me to engage socially with other people, which is something that I've been wanting to insert into my life more often because it's something that I need to work on. It's one thing to be able to talk when no one's physically currently here in front of this camera, even though knowing that this is eventually going to go onto the internet. The social exposure therapy of just walking through neighborhoods near you. And then it's not just the walking through neighborhoods where people might be, but there's this awkward thing when you walk by people, which I think is probably even more awkward when you're just person walking by person. And the same for when there's a car coming at you and you're walking on the street. It's like, do I make eye contact? Do I look away? Maybe some people don't notice, but anyone with social anxiety to some degree could probably relate. There's this resistance to even look into the car, and like I got these glasses that tint transition lenses, so they might not even be able to see my eyes and where I'm looking, but I still have this aversion to look, like, I don't want them to see me, which is so silly. So anyway, that was that. At the beginning I was thinking like, I should make an effort to look, and then a couple times I was like, I should wave. I'm in a neighborhood. I've always liked that. I've always liked waving when I'm driving by people, and it just makes things more friendly in your community, and I think that's something we need more in this day and age especially. So towards the end I realized, I think it was like the last 5 minutes, like, you know what, I just need to freaking wave. Just smile and wave, like that little penguin says in Madagascar, the kids movie. But yeah, just wave. I mean, it's a very simple thing. It doesn't take much effort. It could change someone's day. I mean, it has for me before, which sounds so silly and grandiose, but it really is all it takes sometimes, is just to know that there's other people out there who are happy to share this community with you, happy to share this space with you. And you can reflect that same feeling by initiating the wave. A nod is nice. A nod is a good start. And that's actually, I started with a nod. The first or second car that I passed, someone waved to me. And I was like, oh, sweet, someone waved. But I was walking, and I felt it too much energy for some reason to just go back. And it's like, dude, but a nod is still a start. So you can't nod yourself entirely. Smile and wave. So that's, I hope wherever you are, whatever time it is, whatever you're doing, you're having a good time. And I hope this message finds you well, as they would say in an email. Adios, my friends. Ciao, ciao. See you at day 13.